As Mark Twain once said, that if you have to eat a live frog each morning, that is going to be the worst possible thing that can happen in the entire day. So now you'll ask me, why would anyone eat a live frog anyway? So we'll try to find out the answer of this question in a really motivating book, which will help us stop procrastinating and will also help us maximize our productivity at work. The name of the book is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. So let me tell you about Brian Tracy first, who is the author of this book. Brian Tracy is one of the top business speakers in the world. He has designed and presented his seminars for more than 1,000 organizations on topics like leadership, management, productivity, and time management. He is also the author of more than 80 books, and some of his famous works are Kiss That Frog, No Excuses, Goals, Fight Plan, and Eat That Frog. So Brian Tracy in this book tells us that in this generation of technology, when there are so many things to be done, where activities and responsibilities keep getting added with too little time to do it, you need to prioritize your work. So if you have to eat 2 frogs, you need to eat the ugliest and the biggest frog first, which means you need to start and complete the most important, most complex, the biggest, the hardest task first, because you are more likely to procrastinate on that task first. So Brian Tracy metaphorically compares frogs with the activities or the tasks that you need to complete in a day. He says if you have to eat a live frog, it does not pay to sit and look at it for a very long period of time. You need to take some action immediately to achieve your goals and become successful. Brian Tracy says that your success in life and work is determined by the habits that you develop over a period of time. So you need to practice and repeat those habits over and over again until it locks into your subconscious mind. So Brian Tracy also emphasizes on the importance of planning in one's life. He says every 1 minute that you spend in planning saves 10 to 12 minutes of your execution time. He talks about 6 P's, which is proper prior planning prevents poor performance. Brian Tracy tells us the importance of 80-20 rule, which is the Pareto model. He says that 20% of the activities that you do will account for 80% of the results that you get. So he says that if you have 10 tasks that you need to complete in a day, identify those 2 tasks which will give you the maximum results. Those are the 2 frogs that you should eat in a day. He tells us that we should always start with the most important and the most complex task in the morning, because we are most likely to procrastinate on that task, and we should resist the temptation of clearing off the smaller task. We should always consider the consequences of our actions. A long-term perspective of our actions will decide how we will do in our life, because long-term thinking improves your short-term decision making. He says that there is never enough time to do everything, but there is always enough time to do the most important thing. Brian Tracy also talks about creative procrastination in this book, wherein he says we should deliberately and thoughtfully procrastinate on things which are lower on the priority list of our work. And we should also try and learn say no to a lot of things, because always saying yes to people will not add any value to our work or our life. If we have to eat the ugliest and the biggest frog, we need to eat it 1 bite at a time. Which means if we have one of the most important and complex tasks in front of us, we need to break it down into different steps, and we need to go 1 step at a time in order to get succeeded. Brian Tracy also emphasizes on upgrading our skills, putting pressure on ourselves, motivating ourselves, and setting deadlines for ourselves, because that's what leaders do to succeed. Another method through which we can efficiently complete the most complex task is by creating blocks of times. The sense of urgency can trigger the state of flow and help us attain the unexpected results. Whenever we are distracted and whenever we are tempted to go towards the easier task, we should have a self-dialogue with ourselves. We should tell ourselves that it is the time to complete the most important task, and we should get back to work and do it now. So this was a summarized version of the 21 principles that have been mentioned in this book. This is a really short and simple read. I managed to complete it in a span of 4 hours. I also try to implement the principles which are there in this book in my own work life, and I genuinely found improvement in the activities that I do and the results that I was getting. So I strongly recommend that you guys read this one, because this will give you a fresh perspective on time management and procrastination, and will also help you become more productive in your own work life. So why don't you guys go and eat that frog? So that's all in this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys like the content that I create, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon right next to it. Also follow me on Instagram. Do share and like this video with your friends and family. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, you guys take care of yourself. Keep smiling. This is your friend Islam signing off. Bye-bye.